So almost 2 years ago today, I went to the gym for the first time in my life. I had just finished high school and I made a promise to myself that I was going to change my life for the better. I was always a very skinny kid, very short, just the smallest kid always, in every single year. With that being said, it made me a very easy target for things like bullying, abuse, etc. So because of the things I lacked, I started to overcompensate with my words, which often landed me in a fuck ton of trouble. I got bullied for a majority of my school life, picked on for the way I looked, my race, because, growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, especially with things like terrorism being so prevalent at the time, it made things super hard. Fuck you, Bin Laden. I had super low confidence. I couldn't even talk to a girl properly, and at the same time I was facing, abuse, domestic abuse at home, at school, no matter where I was, it felt like I couldn't escape it. And all of this led me to consuming myself with video games, which then led me to having an addiction to video games during high school. I always wanted to feel better, look better, etc., but I just never had the confidence in myself to actually take the action. I was just so scared of how people would see me if I started to change. So my whole life during school, I stayed the same until November 2018 when I started going to the gym. Now, my only main reason for going initially was to just look aesthetically better and to impress girls. When I started going, I was below 53 kilograms. Because this was my first time going to the gym in my life, I started to see a crazy amount of progress, fairly quickly due to my prior absence of any muscle. So 4 months in, this is what I look like. I stayed dedicated and driven to wanting to improve my life and the way I look. My confidence started to go up, I felt happier, and women started to actually notice me. But for whatever reason, still something was just not right. 2 months later, I hit one of the worst stages of, depression in my life, all while still physically peaking and, thinking that I am happy. But why? It's because I didn't have purpose. I was going to the gym for, all of these external reasons like impressing girls, aesthetic strength and, just the way I looked. And, these things didn't have any purpose to them. They were just momentary things that I, set an expectation my whole life and said to myself that once I get these things, I will be happy. And then once I got them and then realized, I wasn't fulfilled and I depended my whole life on these things to make me happy, I just crashed. So what did I do next? I learned that, depending on anyone or anything outside of yourself for happiness is literally the worst thing that you can do, because everything, is temporary, even our bodies. Our bodies are temporary. The only thing that isn't is our soul. So if you depend on these things, you're only going to be temporarily happy. When you assign people or things emotions, you grow and develop an attachment, which then leads to that dependency onto it. And then this dependency leads to expectations of how, they are supposed to be. And in my case, I expected the gym to attract me all of these external things like women and all of that. And then I depended on that to make me happy. And I had, that expectation of, me feeling a certain type of way all the time because I have all of these things. As corny as it sounds, like I know it sounds corny as hell, but happiness is within. And now since realizing this, I am not only in the best physical shape of my life, but also mentally and spiritually, I am peaking because I don't depend on anyone or anything for that matter for my own happiness. I now currently weigh 68 to 70 kilograms. This is by far like a massive improvement considering, how hard it was for me to put on weight, and it's also the heaviest and the most leanest at the same time that I've ever been in my entire life. I now walk around with real self-confidence, feeling safe for the first time in my life. I'm generally just so proud of myself, I am becoming everything that I wish to be. Like Crooked said, don't chase anyone or anything, chase your best version.